honestly never thought that I'm gonna record a video like this, but I went from being lost and broke, watching Daniel Dalen, to actually working with Daniel Dalen and dozens of 7 to 10 figure e-commerce brands. And honestly, it's just like so wild how your life can change in just like 2 years. And to explain you how did I start actually working with Daniel Dalen, let's go back to 2024. 2 years ago, I took a gap year after school. I was playing football professionally while working in the warehouse. I was living with my parents, and I also had pretty toxic relationship with my ex-girlfriend. And honestly, my schedule was crazy. I was working in the warehouse for 8 hours, 3 hours of football training on top. And also after football trainings, I was going out with my ex-girlfriend. And honestly, I didn't enjoy any of these things. In the warehouse, I was making €4.50, which was not even 30 euros a day. And I was absolutely not enjoying my football career just because I was busting my ass off on the pitch and not making any money from it. I was training for 7 days a week. And honestly, I was so lost, and I had a feeling inside myself that I'm betraying myself and betraying all my dreams that I have. Honestly, I absolutely didn't know how to escape that lifestyle and started building the life that I truly wanted. But I realized that to escape the matrix, I need to make hard decisions. The bottleneck was that I was always procrastinating it, and I was not making tough decisions, which was the biggest problem. I was living in the way that others wanted me to live, and I was just avoiding uncomfortable situations, always trying to match the expectations of others, and I was basically living in the way that others wanted me to live. It got so bad that going to the toilet was literally the only place where I was able to stay alone with my thoughts and try to figure out what I really want. I was watching Daniel Dalen a lot at that time, and honestly, it was one of the things that actually helped me a lot to hear my inner self and understand that I truly want to become an entrepreneur and that I really have that passion inside me. One day, I just told myself that I can't keep living in this way and I want to change my life drastically, and I just started make very tough decisions to drastically change my life. I moved abroad, finished my football career, ended my relationship, started a college, and the main thing, I launched my email agency from scratch with my closest friend. And most importantly, I started prioritizing myself and taking full responsibility for my life. I was fully alone in another country, and it actually really helped me to hear my inner voice. I fully changed people who surrounded me and started doing things that interested me and I was passionate about. I was studying business in university, living in a student dorm, and building my business with my closest friend from scratch. Even living in a small room with no success yet and very little money, I was so thankful to God that He gave me that opportunity to work on myself, to become a better version of myself and, go for my goal, start working on it and to be on the right path. Every time I felt any difficulties, I always still knew that I'm going in the right path, and the dream of becoming an entrepreneur and financially independent was always pushing me forward. Fast forward, after 2 years, I dropped out of uni just because my business was doing really well. I scaled my email agency, and recently in April, I started working with Daniel Dalen. And how did it happen? Let me break it down. So basically, I was just scrolling X as normally just because I have some presence there and I have like 2.5k subscribers. I'm posting pretty often, and I saw the post of Daniel saying that he's searching for help, like he needs help with email marketing funnel for his brand Lens, just because there was upcoming launch of his new pair of glasses, and yeah, basically he needed help with email marketing. And I saw the post and I was like, why not? Should I make my shot? Why not? And I just DM'd him, and he answered me, and this is what I DM'd him, and this is what he actually just replied me. So after that, we also had an onboarding call, and it was just so wild, man. Like, talking with Daniel Dalen was kind of surreal just because, I'm used to watch his videos, and he also has the same background on his videos, and now I'm talking with him on the call, and it was just so crazy. And Daniel is absolutely the same in real life as in his videos, honestly, because communication with him was super comfortable. Like, he was super kind and things went really well just from the beginning immediately. Yo guys, so I took my laptop just to show you everything that we created for Daniel, so let's dive in. So actually the launch that we took care of was not just a regular launch, but it was actually an introduction of a new business model which is called manufacturer to consumer, and it's actually an amazing business model which is gonna become much more popular, I think, in upcoming years. And what was our role? We were supposed to actually explain in the proper way not only about the product advantages and what the product is about, but also the whole idea behind it and the idea of Daniel. We were supposed to show the vision in the right way. So what we did, we started the sending campaigns from 15th of April and the drop was actually on 25th. So we sent 10 campaigns in 10 days, which is actually pretty a lot, I would say. And how we actually structured like our campaign. So at the beginning, we were talking more about the vision and idea behind the drop. And then we started highlighting more advantages, SKUs, and also added some storytelling. I'm going to show you closer all the designs and explain why and where we used the things. So we combined 4 key components. Basically, these 4 key components actually allow you to make, highest converting emails as much as possible, just because these are one of the most important things: aesthetics, infographics, storytelling, and urgency. And let's just dive in and see the design. So the first design was actually a text-based design with the raw pic of Daniel holding the glasses. And this actually works really well, and people love that personal touch from the founder, and they really feel like they are the part of the whole event, of the whole launch. So this works really well. Hugely also recommend you using this. Here are all the designs, pretty big CTAs, which is very important, and our click rates were crazy. Like, we were getting 3-4% click rate. Like, people were very, very interested, and they really wanted the product. And we collected a huge wait list, so we had a lot of people in the list. And as you can see, infographics, let's talk about them. Why I always say that infographics are really important, just because nowadays a lot of people don't really like to read emails. They just clicked on the email, go through it pretty fast, 3 seconds, and that's it. But with infographics, you are actually able to educate them in a short time period. So they saw the infographic, there were main points highlighted, so they understood the idea, the main key points, just in a couple of seconds, which is what we want. We educated them in such a short time of period, right? So yeah, here is how they looked like: pricing, infographic, advantages, little bit of also explaining in text people some things. Yeah, a lot of different infographics, as you can see. We used a lot of different ways to, show them the advantages, explain them all the good traits of the product. And honestly, this email is my favorite one. I don't know, I really like this one. I think this looks really fire. So yeah, this is a little bit just about the designs. And here are also emails about storytelling. So actually, Daniel really liked these emails, and he even made a story on Instagram where he took a picture of these emails, and he said that team is crushing with storytelling. So yeah, these work also really well. We introduced the whole vision behind the drop, explained with the good storytelling. And also I really like the whole vibe of, text-based email with such an amazing design too, So yeah, this is all about the designs. You can also leave in comments, what do you think about the designs? If you like them, or maybe there are some things that you would maybe make in another way, but I think that we crushed hard with these. Yeah, also Daniel said that we are crushing it. It was amazing. And also it was my idea actually to change the colorway of emails for this launch, and I think they look amazing. And why I made them actually blue, just because the main product advantage was that they are blue light glasses were blue light blocking, and it plays like an association game. People see those colors and immediately there are associations. So this worked also really well, and people had that feeling of something new, because new colors, new designs, people really love it. So this worked also really well. And just to also talk about a little bit more nerdy stuff about deliverability, and that was our approach, which also really helped to get us pretty high open rate. So higher is the open rate, more people actually opened the email and knew about the launch, and they basically joined too. So a lot of people just blast a campaign to the whole list after a long time not sending campaigns, which is a huge mistake. You don't need to do that, because it's a huge mistake, because inbox provider is going to think that you are a spammer and they're going to flag you. What we did, we segmented the list in 4 parts. So we basically divided a list in 4 parts and sent the same campaign to all 4 parts. So in this way, the volume was not that huge. So it was not just a one email which we sent to a huge email list, So in that way, we got pretty decent, good open rates, and we increased the volume basically gradually. Yeah, and it made possible to get super high open rates, click rates, and in that way, a lot of people actually saw our emails. And also, just last thing, just to, finish it, we also created the post-purchase flow, which we integrated triggers from an amazing app, Post Flows, which helped us to update customers at every delivery stage where their product is. So it really increases the LTV and basically the experience of the customer, which is again e-commerce about. So yeah, this is also how it looked like. Here are the designs. So yeah, and also just to sum up, guys, I really want to say that you should always dream big and stay consistent. And I really hope that my situation is a good example for you guys to put a lot of effort and go for your dreams. Always always try to listen yourself, hear your inner voice, and understand what you truly want, and always push hard to reach it, because one day you're gonna look back and understand what is such a huge path you went, and your life changed a lot, and you are in a much better place in comparison with before, where you were in comfort zone, scared to face your your fears. So yeah, guys, I'm sending much love everyone who's watching this video, and I really hope that you guys are gonna always stay consistent again, dream big, and we stay in touch, guys. Much love. See you.